Welcome to a Sirius XM Radio presentation. Tonight, Ron Bennington interviews Joan and Melissa Rivers. And now, from the Sirius XM studios in New York City, your host, Ron Bennington.
Good evening, and welcome to Ron Bennington Interviews. I'm Ron Bennington. Tonight, we'll be talking to a legendary mother and daughter reality team. Joan Rivers is a comedy icon who's been performing for 60 years. Her daughter, Melissa, is the executive producer of Joan's show, Fashion Police. And Joan and Melissa have also co-starred together in their own reality series. Tonight, they're here to talk about the new season of their show, Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best. Stay tuned as Ron Bennington interviews Joan and Melissa Rivers. We were like, what do these guys play on this show?
I'm
anyway,
like, what is that song that just repeats and repeats, and I'm never quite sure what it said? Something's gone wrong in the neighborhood or something like that.
The Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best premieres Saturday, March 29th, 10 o'clock on the East, 9 Central on WE TV. Not that everyone doesn't know this because you've gone viral again over this RJ thing.
Thank God. Yeah. I didn't expect it.
Ray J.
RJ.
Yeah.
What does it matter? Good looking is good looking. Yeah, we did a porn. Nobody has ever thought of doing a slightly older woman porn.
Uh-huh.
The last one I did was with Moses.
There's a reason.
There's a reason because, but the nice thing is, we did it in a very dark room.
No, you say that, but I honestly think that the episode that you did with Louis C.K. was incredibly sexy. Incredibly
But he
sexy.
made it sexy.
Yeah.
He went after. He really started up with me.
Yes, he
That
did.
was all improv.
Is that right?
Oh, improv. What are you doing?
But I
He's
thought
so
it really
good.
worked. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. I think he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah. But you guys, I hope you go back and do the show again because...
Well, tell him that.
Yeah, I will. I'll stay on him about that. His season starts up again pretty soon. Melissa, for you, is this show crazy for you to be, doing this, you and your mom out here on this kind of reality show stuff?
Is it crazy?
Yeah, I mean, you are really putting a lot out there.
Oh, absolutely. But it's nice because I find that people now understand why I am the way I am.
Okay.
It explains my psychoses now. Yeah. See, really? It's because of that. No. I don't know. I don't really think about it anymore.
Really? You're that comfortable with it.
But I'm also very clear as to where my lines are.
But her lines have changed in 4 years.
Is that right?
Oh, God, yeah. I think it's a much wilder show. It's a much funnier show. I think this season, and I'm not just saying this, people always go, this is a great season, then it sucks. But this is a terrific season because she also finally said, oh, fuck it.
Right.
All right, film it. Let it go. It's okay. I mean, the boyfriend, the difference with you in bed with the boyfriend now than 2 years ago. A lot more. We got to see your boobies and all that.
But also,
stuff.
I'm also very clear on where my line with my son is.
Uh-huh.
So
That's the only important thing to you.
Well,
that's all
good
that
point.
matters.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We'll change
That's
that in
nice.
season 5.
That's nice, Mother. That's lovely.
I'm throwing him into the mix
Nice.
season 5.
That's
See, to me, a lot of these shows, you have to come up with things for the people to do. But you have Joan Rivers, a comedic genius on the show. I imagine they're just going to let you run with ideas, right?
The joke is that we would send film in or tape in to WE.
Yeah.
And they would say, no, we want reality here. And Melissa would say to them,
no, that actually happened.
Right.
that happened. That absolutely happened. And then they go, okay.
Is there a certain freedom, though, when you put so much stuff out there that, now nobody can hurt you with anything, though? Is it?
Oh, people can hurt you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think putting it out there has anything to do with people hurting you. We're not tabloid people.
Right.
So it's not, there's no deep, dark skeleton that something's going to pop out unless there's something you haven't told me.
Right.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But, Joan,
I'm always hoping they'll find out something.
I was thinking, when you just said we're not tabloid people, were you like one of the first comics to really use the tabloid stories on stage, though? And was anyone
Probably.
Yeah, I don't
was
know
the
if anyone...
first one to really say, which goes back to the red carpet,
Yeah.
that this one's a drunk and this one's a this
Right.
and this one's a that. People are always so scared to say anything negative about our stars in those days.
Yeah, exactly. And the very strange thing about comedy is, like every other art form, we always give credit to the people who did stuff first. And for some reason in comedy, we never do that. We just...
Because nobody really knows who's done what.
Yeah.
It's
It's not like putting a song out where you could say Elvis was the first to do this.
Right.
I know when David Brenner passed away the other day, we got around saying, critically, David Brenner is a gigantic amount of people followed him what he
But
did.
he was gone. I find fame very interesting. You ask 12 people on the street if they're under 30 who he is, they wouldn't have a clue.
Which is fascinating because he was one of the very first to really bring observational humor
Absolutely.
to the mainstream.
Yeah.
God, was he funny.
He was so funny. And I think, I might be wrong with this, weren't you and David the first time two comics went out?
First time two comics went out. Melissa was a little girl. She was on tour with us.
Yeah.
And we went out, and we didn't know who would go first and who would go second.
Yeah.
And so we would toss a coin backstage.
Every night it would be...
Every night. And every night it turned out David went first.
Two-headed coin?
But we toss that coin every night. But because, that whole thing, well, who's first? I've never believed in that.
Right.
I've always said, if you can't, I like to go on early and knock them out and walk away. Okay, job done, going home. And a lot of people say, well, you got a headline, I got to be the next to last.
No, and then you guys always closed the show together.
Then we'd come back and we'd take questions of the audience. And he was genius at that.
Yeah, and like you said, for some reason we don't hold. If any kind of movie star from any era dies, they
God.
get all the
Yeah.
accolades in the world. But there's something about comedy.
Comics are the lowest form of human
Right.
showbiz endeavor. My mother, to the day she died, never said I was a comedian. She said she's a writer.
Is that
I
right?
was hosting the Carson show. She's a writer.
She's a writer.
So proud of her. She's
Yeah.
a writer. Yeah.
That is the strangest thing
Well,
about
comics, you always
comedy.
think of garbage.
I wonder
Hey,
why.
take my three nuns and a rabbi. We're eating a chicken.
I'd like you to expound on where that one was about to go.
I was loving it though. It was really good. Three nuns and the rabbi are eating a chicken.
I know I'm going somewhere for
And
an
one
anus
walked,
joke.
and they went into the bar to get a napkin, and the
Yeah.
bartender said,
That was a midget.
"Yeah, behind the bar with a duck on his head."
Joan, as long as you've been doing this, you're still jotting jokes down constantly.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse
Going into
me.
the purse. Look at this.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? This is what I was thinking about last night because I'm now doing all these things. Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing. There's just little pieces of scrap paper,
Scrap paper.
and it's just always going.
That was from the breakers in Palm Beach. This is from, there were most of them from yeah, look at this. This is from another place. I can't even read where it's from. The hotel something in, can't even read it.
And you're still just writing it down on scrap paper,
Yeah.
napkins, wherever. You don't
Wherever.
think,
There it is.
yeah.
Oops.
That is amazing.
I'll get it. Don't touch it. That's a joke. I'll get it away. Yeah. Yeah. You never stop because you don't know when it's going to be funny. Thank you
Right.
so much. Someone just picked it. You don't know when it's going to be funny. And if you don't have a piece of paper and a pencil, you're a fool because it's gone.
Right. But I don't
Or you
think
put it in your phone.
I don't think that most
put it in your
people
phone,
get
yeah.
though that it's like a 24-hour job,
But it's so much fun.
You still
It's-
enjoy it just as
God,
much.
when they laugh, you're right. You think of a joke, and then you go and you say it, and they laugh, and bingo. Oh, it's
Yeah.
great. And then when they don't laugh, it's like kill your babies.
that's still, after all this time, just it hurts
Kills
just as
me.
much.
I said something the other night, and then we'll go back, and I don't mean to. I was talking about how I hate children. I really don't like children. And Sophie's Choice. Meryl Streep's the only show I didn't like her in because when she got she got rid of them both. Take them both. I'm out of here. I'm single again. And the audience went, I thought, well, okay.
Okay,
Next.
Not working. What's it been like for you though, Melissa? Like now you say your son's kind of dealing with what your childhood was like, right? Where
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. Except he's getting a double dose because he has mommy and grandma.
Right.
But he knows.
He gets it. He knows. I had Cooper in December, and I was back on the red carpet for the Golden Globes, which is usually the third week of January or the second week of January. So I literally went right back to work less than 6 weeks after I had my son.
Yeah.
And I just picked him up and took him, and off we went to the dressing room. So it's just like me. He's just never known any other life. He does get a double dose. He, however, has realized that my mother and he are kindred spirits.
Is that right?
In the sense of they have the common enemy, which is me.
His first words were room service.
Room service.
No, but they do. They have a common enemy, and that'd be me.
But that is life, right? I mean, it's the family business. If you're,
Yes.
if you're a family or fisherman, you're out on the boat at a young
Exactly,
age.
exactly.
They have a restaurant, you're bussing tables.
Yes.
Sometimes,
So to him, it's very, very
Yeah.
normal.
right. I think that we put a too big of an emphasis on what normal is
Well,
because
absolutely.
what's so great
Well,
about that anyway?
No, but to me, normal is the family values.
Right.
Normal is
Oy.
not necessarily the structure in which they're taught.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very normal childhood in very extraordinary surroundings and
Right.
circumstances, but I still had the basic normal.
But you felt
childhood.
like this is a safe place, and these people.
Well, no, I've never felt safe, but that's really between me and my therapist, and we don't have enough time for that, nor is it appropriate. I think that's the next booth over.
Wouldn't that be? That would be the show to do. Is just you and your therapist for a while.
Yeah, it would be. But I'm also the one that calls my therapist because my therapist goes, you know what, I'm canceling today, and he says, why? And I said, because I'm having a good day. I don't feel like drudging up my past and getting depressed. I'm that patient. I'm like, I'm fine.
We taught her very good things. We taught her, marry for money. She never took
Deep values.
sell your body. Don't be a fool. Fake orgasm. What does it matter?
There's plenty of pieces of your soul to sell.
For God's sakes, it's a family business. So what?
Were you out on the road too, Melissa? So you were saying when
Well, I remember being out there with my mom and David Brenner. I remember
Yeah.
being babysat by Gary Shinling. I remember, those
Billy
and that's
Crystal.
and Billy. That's where my son's experience is different because I'm not on the road as much.
Right.
I don't go and do stand up. I don't do concerts. When I travel for work, generally I try and keep it on a shorter time span. I'm not on these huge tours, but when I am, I take them.
yeah.
But for him, normal is
Well,
normal is prepping for a red carpet or Fashion Police or the reality show. Literally, we shoot in my house. Our bedrooms are upstairs. We live over at the shop.
But also when we were doing In Bed with Joan, which is on the internet, he ran the camera the first two shows.
Well, you just got to work. You got to earn your keep in our house, or very like earn your keep.
Yeah.
And then he was very upset because the show started to do well.
Yeah.
InBedWithJoan.com.
And he thought he was going to be getting out of school to do this.
And suddenly we had a real cameraman.
Yeah.
And he, remember that?
Yeah,
That was
not happy.
not happy.
But my mother did explain to him, that was the funniest thing you've said to him in a long time. The other day when you said to him, that at 21 we present you with a bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not for free, Cooper.
You get a bill at 21.
Getting a fucking bill here.
We're talking about he just got his braces off. He's like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm off. And she goes, oh, you weren't going to be happy when you get the bill. What bill? Like, oh, at 21 you get a full itemized bill. of
Wouldn't
your
that be
entire
amazing?
childhood.
Like,
Yeah.
here it is.
Here it
I hope
is.
you enjoyed your stay.
Don't worry about college loans. You owe mommy a lot.
Right.
Lose another retainer, why don't you?
Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best premieres Saturday, March 29th. 10 p.m. in the East on WE TV. And then you're going to be appearing in New York City at the Beachman Theater April
Always.
1st.
And I'm always there, by the
Yeah,
way.
you love
whenever-
that place.
I love it. And I just look it up when I'm there. If I have a free night and I'm in New York, I go there. And I hate the term, I riff. There's
Yeah.
something like an 80-year-old woman trying to say, because I'm still from the era where you say hep.
Right. Yeah. Everybody stop. Who were the comics when you were breaking in? Who were the
The
comics?
most amazing time. George Carlin, Richard Pryor, I'm talking about sitting in a row at the bitter end with a number.
Wow.
George, Woody was there, Woody Allen, Lily Tomlin. Bob Dylan was walking around the middle of winter without a coat or a scarf. Cosby.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I put that line up
time.
against anybody, the people waiting at the bitter end.
All waiting to go on. All waiting to go on. And all of us did well. And we had dinner one time, Cavett.
Yeah.
We had dinner about, we did some comedy show for some charity, and it was about 6 years ago. And it was Woody and Cavett and Pryor was still around then. And we were all having dinner. And it was so nice because anybody could pick up the check.
Anybody could grab it then.
It was such a nice feeling. So they let me have it.
So suddenly everyone got kangaroo arms.
They all suddenly
little kangaroo arms. No one can reach for that.
Thalidomide.
Alligator.
And again, we talk about that with comedy, that they'll go back and make, movies and documentaries about early scenes. But that scene that you were talking about is just extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's real American history. Those are the people that shaped comedy over the next few decades.
And what I say to comics, and I really believe this, if you're good, it's going to happen. It may happen at a different time. I was the last one through. Mm-hmm. Absolutely the last one through. But eventually it's going to happen. And you just have to know that. Larry David, 20 damn years.
Right.
Before anybody said, hey.
Right. That guy's good.
Oh, God, is he good.
Yeah. What about, we always do this thing called the comedian that changed your life. Was there some comedian that you looked at and said,
don't even finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce.
Nothing to discuss. Nothing to discuss. I was lucky enough. We were at the bid round holding the numbers. He was across the street at a place called Cafe Wa getting busted. And we were able to run across and see him. Can't touch him. Nobody still can touch him. And you wonder if he was alive, what he'd be talking about now.
Yeah. What was it about him that made him that leap, you think, that went out?
Told the truth. I know this sounds stupid, and that's what I try to do. Told the truth. And also sexy as hell. Such a, you have no idea. The women were mad about him. And the men loved him because he was a man's man and told the truth. And would go around and he knew, like all this stuff now, and I do it in my act, he'd say, you're a nigger, you're a wop, you're a kike, you're a frog, you're a chinkarino. Everybody's something, so stop it.
Yeah.
And you went, yeah. And then he would do the act. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Isn't it funny that he was doing that 50 years ago and we still let words hurt us today and what are we going to do? And
he did something that was so nice for young people. I'm so sorry because I should let Melissa talk. Yeah, but she's heard this story a million times. I was at the bitter end doing my own act and bombing. And he came over one night and he sent me a note, you're right, they're wrong. Held it in my bra and went on, and I ended up on Carson, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting with George Carlin one night, years later. We're both okay now. And I said to George, you know what kept me going? Lenny Bruce came over and saw me and sent me a note. You're right, they're wrong. He said he sent me the same note. Oh, so I think he sent it to every comedian around.
That's so
how
great.
How sweet in a way. He would see a comedian, he would send them a note, you're right, they're wrong, Lenny Bruce.
And that's, what's great is like that goes back to that Louis episode where he came up and, it was so rough and your character just gave him so much shit. You just keep going, Keep going no matter what's happening.
Yeah, it was a whole different era.
It's so great to have you guys in here. I'm happy that things are working out for you. It's Joan and Melissa Rivers. Joan Knows Best premieres Saturday, March 29th, 10 o'clock on the East Weed TV. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time coming through.
This exclusive presentation was recorded at the Sirius XM studios in New York City.